everybody! Welcome to another week of Maker's Monday. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and I really hope you had a wonderful weekend. I know that I spent my weekend the same way that I've spent the last 5 months of weekends, in my craft room, working on some projects, and just hanging out at home. Nothing too exciting. So I hope you all had a wonderful weekend, and let me just bring this up here on my laptop so I can follow along with your comments. If you're watching live, make sure to say hi and let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see where people are joining. If you are watching this on replay on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to comment replay and let me know that you watched along. Like I said, I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. We are going to celebrate a little Christmas in July here. We are only 5 months away from Christmas. Can you believe that? It is crazy. I can't believe that we are almost in August. This coming weekend will be August. Where has the time gone? I'm looking forward to creating some projects for you today using new products from the August through December mini catalog. Now, these products will be available starting August 4th, but if you really like some of the products that you see here, you can join the Stampin' Blondie team and order them today. So just a little extra incentive to join our team. We have a great team of demonstrators that are all over the country, and we include everybody, both business and hobby-minded demonstrators. So if you see something that you like here today, feel free to reach out to me and I can help you join our team. All right, so let's see. We are gonna do Christmas in July projects. And I have, let's see here. Oh, yep, let's change the profile view here. So as a reminder for our projects today, you can find this free PDF on my blog that tells you all the measurements and all the products that I'm using on the projects today. This is the best thing because you don't have to worry about writing down any of these measurements or, following along exactly and making sure that you didn't miss anything. So this PDF is free on my blog. It's dual-sided, so we have 3 projects we'll be working on today, and 1 is a 3D project as well today. Also with this PDF, it is clickable for these 3 here, so you can join our private Facebook group for some more inspiration. We have my Stampin' Blondie blog, which has all of my videos and everything else about projects that I've made. And then upcoming this week, actually next week, is the deadline to sign up for August's Paper Pumpkin Kit. This kit is about celebrating our world's greatest heroes. So if you're wanting to know more information about Paper Pumpkin, you can click on this PDF and it'll take you straight to the link. So like I said, this is found on my blog and also in the description of this video. So you can just click right to it and print it right out. It's free and it has all the information you would need. So today we are going to be making projects from the new August through December mini catalog. And yes, she got her catalog today. That's awesome. Thanks for letting me know. I'm so happy you got it. So this catalog I sent out to anybody who has placed an order or attended a class in the last 6 months. So if you are wanting a copy of your own catalog, there's a link in the description of this video that you can follow along and register for your own copy. Now today we are going to be using let me grab it here. It's called the Peace and Joy Bundle. Now I can't show you the inside of the catalog just yet, but I can show you what the products look like. So this is a photopolymer stamp set, meaning it's completely see-through and clear. So you can see exactly where you're stamping. And these coordinating joy dies. Now these dies are really fun because they are builder dies, and there's 3 separate die layers for each word. So you get a lot of different variations that you can do with this stamp set. So we today are going to be making 3 projects. 2 of them are Christmas, so the Peace and Joy, and then this mini paper pumpkin box. And then I thought, you know, I wanted to use this stamp set in a way that is not just for Christmas, to show you how versatile this stamp set can be just by making a birthday card. So I decided to use the bright sentiment and some birthday wishes, and we are going to make this bright and bold birthday card that anybody would love to get in the mail. And of course, this uses that really fun rainbow glimmer paper that I just can't get enough of. So we are going to start with our Christmas project. We'll move into our birthday and then go to our mini paper pumpkin box. And I'll give you some tricks and tips along the way about this stamp set. Now, if you are watching, make sure to also share this video to be entered to win a Christmas in July gift. So last time I gave out 2 of these cherry cobbler striped ribbon, and I sent one out, but there's still one person that I have contacted and she hasn't responded to me. So Diane, if you are watching, make sure to comment so that I can get your address to mail this to you. If not, I'll be pulling the next name from the list. So please let me know as soon as possible your address so that I can get that out to you. Now, make sure to share this video with your friends to be entered to win the iridescent pearls. These are new from the August through December mini catalog, and they are really pretty with this iridescent look to it. Of course, iridescent pearls. They're actually found in the Halloween page for the catalog, and I'm not exactly sure why they fall under the Halloween category, but they're very pretty, and I am very excited to use these on a variety of projects. So make sure to share this video with your friends, and can you post that you shared it as well on this video? Sometimes Facebook doesn't always let me know when somebody has shared a video, especially if they're not friends with me. So make sure to share and then comment that you shared so that I know, and then I can enter you into the drawing. All right, let's get started. We have this first project here using the Peace and Joy stamp set and coordinating dies. We are also using the designer series paper that has returned for this catalog, and I'm super excited that it has because I used it so much last year. This is called the Brightly Gleaming Specialty Designer Series paper, and as you can see, it has copper foiling in the paper, so it's very, very pretty, and I just cannot get enough of this paper, especially this middle one with the pretty peacock. So we are going to use Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, and Pretty Peacock. And I can tell you this designer series paper will not be around for next year's catalog because Pretty Peacock will be retiring in June. So this is the last year to get this paper. So I'm going to use a piece of Very Vanilla cardstock that I have, let me just get my measurements here, that I have cut at 5.5 by 8.5 and scored right down the middle. Now remember, I have that free PDF, so you don't have to write these measurements down. It's very easy for that. Let's put that there. And I have a piece of Very Vanilla cardstock as well, cut at 3.5 by 5.5, 5 1/8. So this piece here is going to be used for our mat for our 3 strips of paper. This is a technique that I use for me that's easier to line up my strips and make sure that they're straight when I'm putting it onto my project. So I have my Very Vanilla cardstock. I've got 3 strips of the Brightly Gleaming Designer Series paper. I'm going to use the copper foil side, but here is the other side so you can see that. I have a piece of vellum cardstock that is cut using our stitched shaped dies from the annual catalog. And I have a piece of Very Vanilla cardstock here that I have, let me just grab that cut. Actually, this is Whisper White. Let me grab a piece of Very Vanilla here that I'm going to cut and use for my words. So very vanilla. There we go. You can see that wouldn't look good with our project. So we are going to use the Peace and Joy stamps from this kit and show you some great ways to use these stamps. So like I said, these are photopolymer stamps, and so you can see exactly where you are stamping. You're going to want to use your clear block I for this stamp set because it's big and you'll be able to get the sentiment all on here. So we're going to stamp, oh sorry, we're not using bright, we're using Peace and Joy. We don't want bright, bright's for our other projects. So Peace will be done in Pretty Peacock. We're gonna ink that up and stamp onto our piece of very vanilla cardstock. And now we're going to use Joy, and we're gonna cut out or stamp Joy in Night of Navy. I love these colors because they're not really traditional Christmas colors. Of course, Mossy Meadow is, but the Pretty Peacock and the Night of Navy are not your traditional colors for Christmas, and I like that. I like creating projects that are gonna be just a little bit different for Christmas. It's always fun to change it up a little bit and do some non-traditional colors. I'm really looking forward to creating some Christmas projects using Magenta Madness, so very bright pink for that. All right, so we're going to take a pair of scissors and I'm just gonna trim out these words. Now I have my die cut machine off to the side here. I don't die cut on camera just because it can shake the camera and get everything out of whack, but I'm gonna build the dies on the platform so you can see what it'll look like, and then I'll run it through the machine. Now, Stampin' Up! Has their new Stampin' Cut Emboss machine coming out in September for all customers, but demonstrators can pre-order it next week, and I'm very excited about this. My current die cut machine is on its last legs, and so I'm excited to get a new one. All right, we are going to use these Joy dies. Now, as you can see, they are 3 different layers. So you have a big bubble outside. You have the one to cut your stamped image. And then there's a little thin one that we're gonna use on the birthday card today. So I'm going to line up, I'm using my magnetic platform just so that my dies don't move. But with the new embossing machine, it has a magnetic platform as well. But this one will be all magnet. This one has little magnets along the edge, and sometimes the dies can jump. But this new one will have die or magnet the entire way. So like I said, I'm gonna die cut off camera just because I don't want it to shake my camera. Okay, and we've got our 2 die cuts here. So we've got Peace and Joy, and I'm just gonna put those right back on the paper here so that I can make sure they don't get lost. And then there's our 2 die cut sentiments here. Put this off to the side because we're gonna need that again. And then on this little scratch piece here, I'm going to stamp the and. So for this, I'm just gonna fussy cut out the word. It's so tiny, you don't need a die or anything for these words. So just a little stamp, and it's square, so you can easily just cut that out with your scissors, and you don't need any dies for that. Now with this stamp set, there's a bunch of different little sayings that you can build. You can do merry and bright, peace and joy like I'm doing, you know, joy to the world. So this is a great stamp set for a variety of different sentiments creating for your cards. It's just a little bit of die cutting here. So we're gonna cut out our saying and trim that up. I'm really hoping my internet doesn't go out because it started to look pretty dark outside. We haven't had a good monsoon yet come to my house, and we are well over a month within monsoon season, so we desperately need the rain. When the cactus in my backyard is starting to turn brown, that's how you know it's really dry outside. All right, so we have our joy, peace, and we are going to assemble our project. I've got my brightly gleaming paper, and what I'm gonna do is I always like to take it and line everything up first. Oh, I need to trim that just a little bit. Let's see here. This is 3 3/4, 3 1/2. So I like to just trim everything up. 3 1/2. A little mini paper cutter. Unfortunately, this sold out really quick. I was very sad. This was a good cutter. So I like to line everything up on my paper here first, and that's how I know how to space everything evenly. See, if I was to just put this down and I would have glued from the top, it would have not been spaced evenly. So I'm just going to kind of maneuver everything around to give it the space so that you can see exactly where everything's gonna be first. And then I'm gonna take one at a time and add adhesive. So last week I shared the tip about how to use our new Stampin' seal. So you wanna run it down, tilt it straight up, and then flick it back. And that'll keep your adhesive right on the top of your tape runner. So we're going to run this down here. Yes, Kathy, I pray for some rain. I mean, I've lived here 4 years, and this is the latest that I have seen monsoon season happen, and I can't believe we haven't gotten any rain yet. I don't understand why, but we need some rain here desperately. All right, so we've got our background, and I'm just going to lay this down again here for our card. Make sure it's going the right way, and put that right in the middle. Now I chose these colors, the pretty peacock, to go on the top so that it'll contrast with these two here, so they're opposites. But first we want to assemble with our vellum. Now if I was to just put down our vellum first and then layer the sentiments on top, you would run into the issue of seeing your adhesive through your vellum. So what you want to do is you want to take some mini dimensionals, and you're going to put these on the back. The best thing about this stamped image die cut is that it's perfect for fitting mini dimensionals on the back, and you'll hide the mini dimensionals. You don't have to trim them down at all. So we've got those here, and we're gonna just put the piece on there first. Okay. I'm taking my little and piece, and we're gonna bring in just a little bit of glue. You don't need a lot on the back. It's super teeny tiny. And we're gonna put that there. And then our joy, again, with the mini dimensionals, this fits perfect so you can hide your dimensionals in the back, and it'll cover them up so you don't have to worry about them showing through. Okay, and we're gonna put joy kind of off to the side here just a little bit. Now, here comes the best part. With this being the way it is and the dimensionals on it, you can come in with your fine tip glue pen. Make sure just the white part's coming off. And that's where you're gonna put your adhesive. So you're just gonna put it where the word is, and that's gonna be enough to glue it down, but you're not gonna have any adhesive show through. What is the pink thing that my glue is in? So this is a, let me get this little needle in here. So this is a 3D printed multi-purpose glue holder. So it holds my glue upside down, so all the glue goes to the bottom, and then I don't have to worry about squeezing it and glooping everywhere. So it's just 3D printed. I got it online. I don't even remember where, but you can find them all on Etsy. People sell them 3D printed. They're pretty cool. I like it. It's always on my desk. All right, so we're gonna glue that down. I'm just gonna put something heavy on it so it has a few seconds to cling together. And that is our first project using the new Peace and Joy stamp set with the coordinating dies. So I'm just gonna put this off to the side so it can glue down a little bit. And we're gonna move on to our next project. Let me know what you guys think. This really pretty traditional Christmas card. Now I wouldn't make a mass amount of those because that would be a lot of die cutting, but it's fun. I like that one. Let's clean up a little bit here. And we are gonna move on to this really fun birthday card. Now, like I said before, I wanted to create something with this stamp set that is a little non-traditional. It's fun and bright, and it reminds me a lot of the 80s. That zebra card that I made a couple weeks ago definitely really looks fun. So we are going to use the rainbow glimmer paper for this, and I've got a little trick to cut out these really thin dies for you. So I've got a piece of rainbow glimmer paper that I've cut to 2 inches, just on the long way, so it will cut a variety of colors. And I'm gonna show you how I cut out my words here. So I have my magnetic plate and my rainbow glimmer paper. Now we are going to use the word bright. So I'm using this bright word. The big piece is gonna be up here. Oh, before I do that, I gotta tell you the trick. Wax paper. This is a lifesaver when you use this die. So wax paper, this will help these little thin dies that are right here. We're gonna use this one that says bright. The wax paper will prevent the die from sticking in to these grooves, the paper from sticking in there. So what you do is you've got your rainbow glimmer paper or whatever paper you wanna use, and I'm gonna put my wax paper down, and then I'm gonna put my die. So that'll be there, and then I'm gonna use the one that says bright. The inside color is this thin die here. And I want them to be as opposite of colors as possible. So I want them as far apart on here from there. All right, and then we've got our top plate. Now, like I said, I don't die cut on screen because that will shake the camera. So I'm just gonna quick run this through. Be some crunching noises as the die cuts. And now we have our die cut, and it'll cut straight through the wax paper. And then this one here, look, it doesn't stick in there at all. This is the best part about using wax paper. Everybody has wax paper in their kitchen. I actually stole this whole roll and keep it in my craft room now because it just works so well with these dies. You don't have to worry about them sticking and then take your pick tool and trying to pick out all those little pieces. So we can throw this away, or you can reuse this. There's a ton of wax paper left on here for cutting other dies. And you're just gonna pop out your piece. Now you've got that little wax paper layer on there. You can just run your finger over it and it'll pop out all the little pieces here. Let me pop those out. There you go. So there's our bright. We got a little bit in the R here. Get that out. And then our background piece, the big bright, the shadow piece there. Okay, and we are going to assemble this now. So I am using a piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock. that is cut at 5.5 by 8.5. Again, the measurements are on the free PDF in the description of this video. I am going to use a piece of shimmery white cardstock. You may not be able to see it on camera, but this paper has shimmer to it. It's not in your face bright shimmer, but if you take the paper and you tilt it, you're able to see the shimmer there. We are going to use a lot of ink pads on this. So I have Magenta Madness, Mango Melody, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, and Bermuda Bay. So we're going to take our, we're gonna start with Granny Apple Green, and we're gonna use this fern stamp from the stamp set. And I'm going to want to stamp like this whole middle piece is gonna cover up a bunch of this. So I'm gonna stamp my fern there, stamp one here, another one up here, and there, because our sentiment's gonna cover up most of that. So it doesn't matter if there's that big white gap in the middle. Next, we're gonna do Mango Melody, and we're going to stamp the other fern. This one looks more like a palm. Well, they both kind of look like palms. So we've got our Mango Melody. Got that inked up. I need to re-ink that one. Got that there. And this one down here. Again, up here, I'm just gonna do one this time, right there. Forgive that one, I really need to re-ink this ink pad. I use this color a lot. Next, we're gonna do these bright kind of like shimmer splotches, these shine, and we're gonna do those in Daffodil Delight. So we're gonna put one up here, one down here. I've got another fern that's gonna be done in Bermuda Bay. Now, if you really like all these colors, they are all in the Brights collection, except Magenta Madness, that is an in color. But the rest of the ink pads you could substitute for Mango or Melon Mambo and it would work as well. And these are all ink pads that you can buy in a bundle together and make all at once. And then our last one that we have here is Magenta Madness. And we're gonna do this little, there's this little shine stamp too. I don't know the technical term for it. Bling stamp. It makes your projects go bling. And that's gonna be kind of right here and then just kind of over here in the corner. Okay, so like I said, we don't need to worry about the big white space in the middle because we're gonna cover that over with our sentiment. Now I'm gonna use a piece of basic black cardstock and we're gonna use this last big bright die here. And that's just gonna give us our bubble background. So we've got our die cut and we're gonna cut that out for our bubble background. Okay. And there's our background. And now we're going to layer the project together. So we've got the, yes, sorry, Cindy, I didn't see this. Are all the stamps in the same set? Yes, they are. This is all one Peace and Joy stamp set. So you've got all the ferns, the bling stamps here, Bright Peace Joy, and then all these little ones. So all the stamps that I'm using today are from one stamp set. And the coordinating dies, so they all go together. We're gonna layer these together. Now this is where we're gonna come in with that fine tip glue pen again. And you don't need very much, but this fine tip glue pen, you'll be able, there's some bigger parts of the words. You don't have to glue the entire word down. Just some key points of the word that are bigger that you'll be able to just put a little dot of glue on there to hold that down. And that's where you're gonna come in with your clear block or heavy piece of paper or something a little heavier to be able to put this down onto your sentiment. So we've got our words there. Just make sure everything's lined up. And like I said, I'm gonna come in with my clear block to kind of hold that down. And while that is, I'm trying to move it just a little bit. See, that's the best part. It's not glued all the way, so I can move it. So I've got my basic black piece, and I'm going to put that onto my paper. And you just need regular tape runner for this. And we're just gonna cover up all that blank area. I purposely stamped these to a little farther out so that I could add my in color enamel dots and my sentiment down here. So we're going to tape run on the back. And yes, peace and joy, bright and joy, same thing. Joy, joy, joy for the stamp set in the catalog. All right, for the back of this, we are going to use dimensionals. The mini dimensionals, again, work for this size because it's the same size as the one I just stamped and cut out. So we're just gonna put a couple dimensionals in key places that will be hidden so you won't see. Stay on there where they are. And I hope you guys like this kind of non-traditional Christmas card. I wanted to, like I said, do something that is different and show the versatility of this set, that it can be used for more than just Christmas, that it can be used for birthdays as well. So I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock, just regular plain, and I'm going to use the Well Wishes stamp set. This is actually a two-part stamp set, but I'm just using one part of it because the birthday and wishes somewhere, birthday wishes are all from this half of the set. So we've got birthday wishes, and I'm going to use Magenta Madness, and we're going to line those both up. Now we're gonna cut them out separately, but you can stamp them together. Stamp ink once, you know, kind of cut twice thing. Here we go. And clean those off for that. And then these we're just going to hand cut out. If I can find my scissors. There we go. So I've got, this was done in Magenta Madness, that big bright pink. That's a new in color. And I'm just gonna fussy cut around the words. Nothing, you don't have to have any dies for this one as well. Just a quick trim around the words will suffice for this. There we go. Hi Mom, thanks for joining. I hope you had a good day. All right, we've got our birthday wishes, and I'm just using regular tape runner on the back of this, and we're gonna tilt those for, see, I didn't cut my sentiment or my tape runner the right way. And that. And for the final touch on this project, I'm coming in with the new, these are the 2020-2022 in color enamel dots. And I'm just gonna put two right on this here, one in the middle of that bling and one in the middle of that one. So that is our second project using the Peace and Joy stamp set and the rainbow glimmer paper. And you can see, depending on where you cut on the glimmer paper, you're gonna get a different rainbow effect on each project. So there we go. All right, and our last project is a 3D project using the new mini paper pumpkin boxes. Now, these are really cute and so tiny. Look how small they are. You may have overlooked these in the annual catalog. They are on page 152 under our packaging basics, and they are right here, mini paper pumpkin boxes. You get 10 boxes for $7.50, and the best part about these boxes is that they fit our note cards and envelopes. So if you signed up for July's class that just closed, our projects were made using the mini paper pumpkin box and the note cards and envelopes. So this is, they're boxes that come like this, and they're white. So you can color these with spritzers. You can take your brayer and ink to change the color of these boxes. And then on the inside, they are like plasticky coated so that you can fill this with like homemade treats like cookies, and you won't have to worry about the grease from the cookies going through your project because it has that like plastic coating to it. So also on this project, I am featuring the new brushed metallic 12 by 12 paper. And this paper is different than our foil paper. So this is the brushed metallic paper that I'm using here. It has more of a muted tone to it. And here it is in comparison to our foil paper. So you can see, I hope on there it shows through. The foil paper has much of brighter shine to it as compared to our brushed metallic. So definitely different paper. So don't overlook this in the new mini catalog as well. You get gold, copper, and bronze brushed metallic paper, and I don't know if you can see it, it has these lines down the middle to kind of give it that brushed look as well. So I'm gonna start by folding our paper pumpkin box, and you're gonna want a bone folder when you put these together to crisp up your lines. Because they're already pre-scored, it's very easy to follow along with where it's supposed to be scored, and they go together very quickly. These are perfect for putting in Christmas treats, such as like little Debbie cakes will fit in here. You could use the little zebra stamp set and put in some zebra cakes. So there's a variety of other options that you can put in this box. So I've got our box coming together here. Now I haven't tried spritzing this with color or brayering it up to make it look different for color, but it's on my list to do. I'm excited to try that. All right, to assemble. So we have these pieces here with the tabs. I'm gonna fold that one in. So you're going to bring these up. Make sure you guys can see this. Bring this up, and then this piece here is gonna fold over your tabs, and then it has a little indentation on the bottom of the box to be able to lock these in for there. Okay, and the same thing on the other side. You take your tabs, fold that piece over, and then this will lock in your mini paper pumpkin box. So it's a good size, like I've got my D block there will fit. You could put a Stampin' seal in there. An ink pad will fit. So it's a good size box, even though they say mini paper pumpkin boxes. They're a decent size. So let's just fold the tabs in, and then you have your mini paper pumpkin box. Now, if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, this is the box that it comes in. So you can see it really is a little mini paper pumpkin box. Very cute. But you can fit a variety of things in here. And I like that the note cards and envelopes fit in this. So we have our brushed metallic paper, which is new in the catalog, but I'm going to emboss this using the greenery embossing folders. Now these are meant for our new mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which while it's not available just yet, this is the size of the machine that you're going to be able to run through for the embossing folders. These come in a 2-pack in the annual catalog, and I'm going to be using this one right here that I've labeled Greenery 1, even though Greenery is the name of the embossing folder. So I've got a piece of brushed metallic paper. This is cut at 5 1/4 by 3 3/8. As a reminder, the dimensions are on that free PDF, so you don't have to write that down. And I'm gonna run this through my Big Shot, and I'm just gonna use my regular platform, a plate, and a regular plate. You don't have to use the magnetic platform for this. Move that out of the way. And I'm just like die cutting, I'm gonna emboss off camera because it shakes the table when I do it. But this is what it looks like when you pull it out of the machine. It is really pretty. You don't have to have a lot of supplies and a lot of skill to do this. Anybody can emboss, and that's the best part. Now for this, I'm going to use our Stampin' Seal Plus adhesive. Now I decided to use the Seal Plus because it is a lot stronger than our regular Stampin' Seal. And with this metallic paper, it kind of has like a plasticky coating on the back. So I want to ensure that this will stick to my mini paper pumpkin box. So I'm going to use the Seal Plus on this. And we're going to put that right on the front of our box. Now with this Seal Plus, you want to make sure you have it exactly where you want it because it is not going to come off. It will pull apart and rip your paper if I was to try to lift that up. We are going to use traditional Christmas colors for this one. So we have Merry and Bright and Cherry Cobbler and Garden Green. You can't go wrong with these two colors for Christmas. And I've got my 2 scratch pieces of Whisper White cardstock. So I'm going to use Bright for this. And I'm gonna stamp that in Garden Green. And I should have enough room to do the Mary and, but I've got that second piece of cardstock just in case I need the space. Oh no, we're good. Plenty of room. Don't need that. And there we go. And I just put my finger in the green ink. Make sure that's off. Who doesn't get inky? I mean, you're not crafting unless you get ink all over the place. And as you can see, even as an avid crafter like myself, I still get ink all over me. I mean, you can't get around that. So we're going to use the Mary and stamps. So we've got the and the Mary. And like I said, you can mix and match these sentiments. They're super fun to create different sayings for this. And then you can stamp them at the same time because they're really easy to cut out. So we've got this, and now we're gonna run this through the die machine using the middle bright die. So we've got, well, let me close this up so that I don't get ink on my fingers here again. Clean some of that up. And I'm gonna use my magnetic platform for this, just like my others. So I've got my platform, my sentiment, and this one you don't need the wax paper. It's just that super thin die is where you would use the wax paper. This big one, you're good without having wax paper. And run this through. Lots of die cutting today. I haven't done a lot of die cutting lately for you guys, so I wanted to do something different. And there's our sentiment. Nice and bright. Pun intended. And we're just gonna fussy cut out these words. Very easy. It sounds like the storm probably missed me. Doesn't sound like it's doing anything outside. Man, I don't know what's up with monsoon. Come back, monsoons, we need you. If you are not from Arizona and you have never experienced a monsoon before, all I can think of is in the original Jumanji, when they have the monsoon and there's that big alligator and there's flooding and everything, that reminds me of what monsoon is like in Arizona. It just rains from nowhere and it can get very bad. What did I use to put the stamp color on the inside of your stamp pad? Oh, okay. So Dawn asked me, where did I get this little strip here? So on the back of all of our ink pads, there comes a sticker. So there's actually 4 stickers here. And one says, you know, for this one, cherry cobbler. And then it has it in 2 other languages. And then there's a blank piece. So that blank piece goes right in here so that when you have your stamp pads open, you can see what color it is. This is perfect if you are using like a really dark purple and night of navy next to a dark gray, so you can see all the different colors of the ink pads. So on all of our ink pads on the back is a sticker for the different colors of the ink pads. So the more you know. I hope that helped, Dawn. Thank you for asking that. That's perfect. That is the point of Makers Monday as well, is to help you with these questions you may have. So once again, we're going to use mini dimensionals on the back of this sentiment, and I'm just putting them in spots that they're going to be covered up with our sentiment. And these little mini dimensionals are perfect for that. There we go. And then we're going to put that on the box here, and I just kind of put it up, not right in the center, but kind of off to the side. And then we're going to bring this piece back in with the paper here. And we're gonna use, see, I'm glad I could help, Candy. You never knew that too. There you go. A little education with this Makers Monday. Yep, on the back of all of our ink pads have that. So you can put the color on the front as well as on the inside so that you know what color it is when it is open. And the last thing we're gonna do here is, this is the polka, however you wanna say it, polka dot tulle ribbon. I can never say polka dot right. Is it polka, like polka music, or is it polka, like you don't pronounce the L? I don't know. So we've got our ribbon here that I'm just gonna tie into a quick bow. And I have to tell you all, I miss being your bow maker at my live events. Every event I have somebody asking me to tie their bow for them, and I really miss that. I miss being your guys' bow maker. So there we go. Let's just make that one a little tighter, trim off our edges, and I'm gonna use mini glue dots to put this down. So I chose mini glue dots because they are translucent and you can kind of cover them up with this ribbon, and they are quick and easy, and you don't have to wait for anything to dry when you put them down. So Cindy, I don't do the L, so polka dots. Polka dots. It's just such a funny word, like polka. I don't know. All right, and that is our last project for today, using the Peace and Joy stamp set and coordinating dies. As a reminder, all the measurements for the projects today can be found in my free PDF that's in the comments of this video, or sorry, the description of this video, and it has all the products and all the measurements that I used for the projects today. All right. Well, once again, thank you for joining me for another week of Makers Monday. I hope you enjoyed this sneak peek of Christmas in July products coming from the August through December mini catalog. These products can be purchased starting August 4th. And if you would like a copy of the catalog for free, feel free to go to the link in the description of this video and sign up for one, and I will send you one in the mail. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Stay safe, and I will see you next week for another week of Makers Monday. Bye.